and spitting blood. When the old ghosts come walking in.
Shane Nicholson joins us here on Fraser Coast FM, and it's the first time Shane's joined us at our new home here on the Fraser Coast, and he's got a brand new album out and it's dropping tomorrow called Living in Colour. Shane, thanks for joining us, mate, and congratulations on the new music.
Thank you. Thanks for having me too.
What's happened in the last few years between the last album, mate? Anything interesting?
Where do I start? Well, ironically, a lot's happened in the world, but for me, not a lot has happened. Like, I've just been doing what I've always been doing. I've made a lot of albums, but I've hardly left the studio in the last few years. I've just been working, producing for other artists, making this new record of mine. I've hardly left the studio. It's been my safe little, COVID lockdown place is the studio, which is pretty much, I live in lockdown all the time anyway. So it feels like I've been really busy, which I have, but I've hardly left the house.
How does it go for a balance? Does your stuff get put on the back burner when, there's other people chomping at the bit to get their music out there? How does it work for you?
That's how it works now, yeah. This new album took me over 18 months to make because it was definitely put on the back burner. I took on lots and lots of work. To be honest, we couldn't tour, obviously. Touring all dried up. I couldn't really rely on your normal touring income, so I took on lots and lots of production jobs in the studio. It meant that, my album got put on the back burner, but that's okay. At least I had a way to work through all of this. And ironically, I've actually been busier as a producer during all of this stuff going on than I've ever been in my life, because more people are wanting to make music now than ever. They can't tour, they can't perform, so they're channeling all their effort into writing new songs and recording new material. So I've actually been busier than ever, which I'm incredibly grateful for.
And the listener is the real winner out of this because, as you say, we've been privileged to hear so much new music.
Yeah, there's been so much coming out, and there's so much more to come. I mean, every producer in the country is just totally swamped with work at the moment, so there's such a huge backlog of music ready to be released, over the next 6 to 12 months, and there's no sign of it slowing down. I'm still getting inquiries all the time from people wanting to make a new record. And me too, I feel like I've been making this record forever, but it's only been less than a couple of years. But normally when I make a record of my own, I just devote all of my time and energy to that project until it's done. So whether it's 4 days or 4 weeks. But this record has just been little bits of work here and there over the course of 18 months or 2 years, and just around other work. And so it's sort of an accident that it even ever got finished, to be honest.
We're talking with Shane Nicholson. He's got his brand new album out, Living in Colour, and we'll be featuring the first song off of it now, And You Will Have Your Way. Tell us a little bit about this song, Shane.
Well, I remember recording this again late at night after a client had left. We'd done a long session, usually about 10 hours or so is our session times, and so I would just chuck in an hour of work every night after someone left, and I remember doing this one late at night, and it was towards the end of the process actually, but the process was so protracted that I can't exactly remember how it fitted into the record, but it was certainly towards the back end of it, and I think it's my favourite. Not that I ever pick favourites, but I think it might be my favourite, which is why I've chosen for it to be the single as the album comes out.
We won't press you for tour dates because we know everything's up in the air for some time now. Yeah. I think the tour date might be going from the lounge room to the patio. Well,
yes, the tour was all booked for the second time. Well, it's being rescheduled at the moment, and look, I don't have a... It's my manager that I feel sorry for. He's the one that's making a billion phone calls every day trying to reschedule a tour for the third time, Of course, we can't bank on that, but I'm still optimistic that we'll be performing again at some stage. I'm looking forward to taking this record on the road, and whether it's in 3 weeks' time or in 3 years' time, I'm still going to do it.
Well, it'll be fantastic, and I know that Queenslanders want to see one of their Queensland's favourite sons back home again touring, and we look forward to it. Shane Nicholson, as always, it's great to catch up with you. We're going to play the single now. It's called And You Will Have Your Way. And folks, don't forget, Living in Colour, the album drops tomorrow.
And now there ain't no room in here. The air just disappeared.